organize and start employee training programs. In this video, you'll learn the specific steps that anyone can consider to start their training programs, and we've seen it work over and over again. So why do you need an employee training program? You're like, I'm not even talking. Well, actually, if you're on this video, you probably searched it, so maybe you are thinking about it. But I'll tell you, every company needs an employee training program. So how do you create one? What will accrue to you? What benefits will you have if you do? In this video, we'll find out. So let's do this. Let's go. So let me just say this. Every company, every organization needs remarkable training. And I've said this before in a podcast, to great effect actually, because multiple companies heard the message. There's no reason, there's no excuse for having a boring, horrible employee training program. I will showcase one of my favorite companies, Field Verified. They work in the Phoenix metropolitan area, and they do exterior skin consulting, testing, and training. And I've learned a lot of these steps from them, and we've collaborated back and forth, but they have created one of the best internal training programs I've ever seen, and they have some of the best training in their building enclosure management courses. It's absolutely fantastic. So I do want to say that company, and they've actually done posts recently about how they're accelerating because of internal training, and the industry is accelerating because of their external training. We need more of this. In fact, every company, I would say, you could multiply the training you have now by 4 and barely scratch the surface. We can't expect 100% from people and give them 1%. We need to give them remarkable training. And if you do, you are literally going to see excellence in every corner. Now, let me explain what that means. I have seen companies that are like the Navy SEALs of discipline and effectiveness and profitability in construction. Their people know how to do the work. They do it consistently well. They scale. Their company is growing. They are considered the best of the best. Their operations work. They are very, very profitable, like I have said, and their people are raving fans, and their clients are happy. Why? Was it some magic technology? No. Was it some magic process? No. What was it? An internal discipline to follow and do and execute the small things well based on training. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I will waste no more time. And I will say, so that we can stay focused, please like and comment on this video. What other things have you seen that really add to a remarkable internal training program? We want to hear from you, so please like and then comment below so that I can respond. So number 1, the first thing you're going to do is ask people what they need. And here's what I mean by that. You can do this through a survey, you can do it in an open company meeting, but honestly, I have found that the best data asking or answering the question of what does a company need in reference to internal training, meaning what training do the people need, the best data for me has always come from the people boots on the ground. They'll be honest about it. They're not going to hide it, especially if it's anonymous. They're going to be like, yeah, I wish I planned jobs better. I'm crash landing projects. Our people aren't happy. I can't get trade partners to make commitment. Whatever it is, they are the first source that I go to when finding what does a company need. Number 2, the people in the organization that are delivering the projects or the product, I always ask their supervisors. This for me is the second best place to find information about what kind of training do they actually need. And again, this can be done in a survey, asking them one by one, but you will mine such good data with these 2 first steps. We start here so that we know what problem we're trying to fix. And then 3, obviously, assess the most common difficulties. Are we having difficulties with profit, with retention, with quality, with customer service? What are the problems? Go to the place of work, go to the business, visit the people, go to the actual project sites, to the shop floor, wherever you're going, and actually get some data on the real problems and write that down, tally that down, and then you're going to aggregate the feedback that you got from workers and foremen, and then from the supervisors and then from the actual observations in the field. And most likely you'll know where your gaps are from an internal training perspective. Once you know what the problems are, once you know what training you get to provide, understand your audience. I'll give you a really neat example. There is a poster at Field Verified's office, and it has a picture of a neat little human being. And the person's name is Eric. And at the top it says, "What about Eric?" And at the beginning of the training program, they profiled the typical person that they were going to train, not only externally, but internally. And they said, hey, what does Eric need? What are we delivering in this training? And so they drew a picture, they described it, right? And it's similar advice that they give to us podcast hosts or YouTube content creators. We're not looking at cameras, we're imagining an audience on the other end, right? So knowing who that is, who you're talking to, how they want to be talked to, and what they need is crucial. So not only what information do they need, but how do they need it according to their profile and who they are. So we must understand our audience. The other thing is, in order for you to deliver remarkable training, you'll need a cool method. Now, this is funny. I personally, I like to have boot camps and interactive events. I like to, just like Tony Robbins, I like to get dancing, right? I like crazy type training that will really anchor it in, high energy, right? But that's not everybody's style. I'm comfortable doing that after a lot of discomfort. And they're remarkable trainings. You can ask the people that go. But if you're not comfortable delivering it that way, then find a remarkable delivery method that fits your style and your company's style. So once you know who you're talking to, find that vehicle or the method that you're going to use to deliver it. Is it in video? Is it in a classroom lecture style? Is it in the Tony Robbins dancing style, right? Is it a physical problem-solving exercise like I and Jocko, I'll say it in the reverse, like Jocko Willink and I like to use, right? What is the method? Find your method and you'll be halfway there. This next one is crucial. Do not go start a training program without your influencers. Go find, and let's just say you're training superintendents. Go find your senior supers, your GSs, and ignore the hierarchical structure. Pay attention to the social structure, meaning who has the most influence? Who are your influencers? Who has the most, carries the most weight by way of their opinion with the organization? Who do people listen to? Who do people call? Find those influencers and immediately bring them into the development of that training program so that they can weigh in, buy in, scale, and support. And then we're on to number 7. Once you have your influencers, start developing with them based on the data, the audience, the method, and your influencers and their buy-in. Actually develop the outline together of the major topics. Even your influencers, even if they only ever weigh in on the outline, they'll still support the program because that is a huge step forward. Everything, whether I'm writing a book or doing a YouTube video or a podcast or anything, it all comes down to the outline. Like right now, I'm living and breathing off my outline. I don't need much more once I have that outline. That is true for everything, especially training. So the next step is to develop a remarkable outline. And so if you can get that outline contextually organized with a flow, with the right bullet points, in an impactful way, boy, I tell you what, that's most of the battle won right there. Because then you just go to the next step, you start building the content. And I'm not saying it's it's kind of easy, it's just time consuming. The hard part was getting the buy-in and the outline, but it's not a lot of labor intensive work. But then creating the actual, right now doing this video, the outline was hard, but it didn't take a long time. And this is easy, but it's time consuming. So now that you're developing your content for your training program, right? You have your videographers, you have your audio specialists, you have your technicians, you have your video editors, you have your post-production people, you have your project managers. You have all of this labor that goes into making the content, but really it's quite easy to go segment by segment and build it out once you have your outline. So get yourself a nice process with the right people developing your content and find the systems that are as frictionless as possible, meaning that you don't want to have a system that's really burdensome. Attempt to find efficiencies. Attempt to really get the best knowledge out there for how to record videos, or what is the best training platform, which is the easiest to upload, which is the easiest one to use, how can I best edit the audio? How can I best make changes? How can I best interact with the audience? Make sure that all of your systems for creation and interaction are as frictionless as possible. Then you're going to deploy your first, I would say, batch of lessons. You're going to want a minimal viable product, and you're going to want to deploy it. Go find some people that can test it, provide an objective perspective, have them take the training and give you feedback and see if it's successful. Don't create the whole training. Go create one portion of it and get feedback and make sure you're on the right track before you waste a lot of time with a product nobody wants. And then improve from there. So those are the steps for how to create an employee training program. If you do this, you are on your way to operational excellence because you have decided on a system, you have taught that system, you will then reinforce and hold people accountable to that system, and you will get results from that system. And so I want to encourage you, or at least give you hope for the fact that you can do this. And in the description below, I'm going to give you a list of steps that you can follow and say, hey, we're on our way. We have a need. Let's start going through these one by one. In the description, I'll give you that list because every company needs to have their system, teach that system, and reinforce that system. And so why not start your own employee training program? If you do, you have the chance to really create the Navy SEALs of your individual profession or your type of company and to be the best of the best, right? Because people do not rise to the level of their ambitions, they fall to the level of their training. I've seen it over and over and over. Good thinking, wishful thinking, ambition will only get you so far. There will always be a moment where you will have to fall back on the training you have received. And so what's even scarier than training people and them possibly leaving is not training people and them possibly staying and you and your company being mediocre. So I hope you've enjoyed and will implement this video. On we go.